Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing one of my favorite market recommendations for anybody in current patch 10.2.5. Now when I say anybody, I truly mean it. Of course, this video is going to be tailored to the beginners, but whether you're an intermediate or advanced gold maker, I highly recommend giving it a shot because it is so easy to make gold. And some of you might actually already be doing this, or maybe you stopped doing it in the past because this market is quite old, but it is still flourishing today, and this is your Barter Brick weekly quest. If you don't know what that is okay. We're going to explain it in this video, but without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's dive right in. And so to get started, I first wanted to explain why I'm actually talking about this again. Like I said, this is actually quite an old system. Barter Bricks actually came out with 10.1, so it's been here for quite a long time, but it is still performing super well. One of my first pros is that a ton of professions are involved, and when I mean a ton, I mean 9 crafting professions, so there is a ton of variety. Of course, the more professions you have, the more gold making opportunities you have, but even if you just have one single crafting profession, there's still an option for you. Secondly, many of these items are extremely basic, meaning that they are super beginner friendly. For example, some of these items are just green items you learn as you learn the profession, or they are actually lower quality, meaning you don't need a max profession, and it's just very beginner accessible. Thirdly, like I said before, it is still consistent even though it is patches old. We are currently in 10.2.5, this came out in 10.1, and people are still buying and completing these quests, and it's mainly for knowledge points as well as collectibles. So you might still be doing them, maybe you want to start doing these on your alts, etc., but plenty of people are still doing these weeklies, meaning there's plenty of gold to be made. And lastly, this is kind of a pro or a con depending on your style of gold making. I like to think of it as a pro, but it's up to you, and that is because this changes every week. I will explain the system in just a second, but basically we are following weekly quest, and these rotate every single reset. So I personally like this because it kind of keeps you on your toes. You're not crafting the exact same item every single week, but I understand that not everybody will like this. So it's up to you, but I personally like, figuring out what to do that week and a little change up just to make gold making a little bit more interesting. But moving on, let's explain how this system actually works, and it's surprisingly pretty simple. Each week, 2 quests are randomly selected to be the Barter Brick turn-ins, and each quest ties to a specific profession. Like I said, there are 9 different professions, so there are 9 different quests in rotation. So what you'll have to do is find out what 2 quests are currently up every single week, and then you just want to craft those respective items for each profession and sell them for profit. I will have this full list in the description down below, but to quickly run through all of the different items, for cooking we have the Yusa's Hearty Stew, you need 40 of them, as well as the Feast, you need 5 of them. For engineering, you need 2 of the Draconium Fisherfriends. For blacksmithing, you need 10 of the sturdy expedition shovels. For inscription, you need 30 of the rank 3 shimmering pigments, as well as 15 of the rank 2 chilled runes. For tailoring, you need 75 of the rank 2 vibrant Wildercloth bolts. For enchanting, you need 5 of each of the Cloak enchants, which are your Writ of Avoidance, Writ of Leech, as well as Writ of Speed, and all of these need to be rank 3. For Jewelcrafting, you need 5 of the Alexstrazite, 5 of the Ysemerald, as well as 50 Silken Gemdust, and all of that is rank 3. Then Leatherworking, you need 10 of the Feral Hide Drums, and last but not least, you have Alchemy, which needs 50 rank 3 mana potions, as well as 15 rank 2 of the Omnium Draconis. Now, something you'll notice is for quite a few of these items, quality actually matters, but that's not necessarily a disadvantage for beginners. For example, if we take a look at tailoring, you only need rank 2 of the bolts, you need 75 of them, but they have to be rank 2, meaning if you can inspire to rank 3 or craft rank 3, it really doesn't matter. And assuming the rank 2 one is the one that's actually price inflated for the week, you actually don't want to craft rank 3s because that's going to be lesser value. So you don't need maxed out professions for a lot of these. Additionally, a lot of them don't require quality and they are super easy to craft. All of the cooking items, for example, there's no quality in cooking, so it's accessible to everybody. You have the Draconium Fisherfriends, which are insanely easy to craft, and you have the sturdy expedition shovels, which don't have quality, and they're super easy to craft as well. So there's a lot of options here, but let's actually dive in game and give you a real-life current example. So let's imagine it's reset day. You're really going to want to make sure you try to do this on reset day, as reset day is going to have the most sales. You'll quickly find out this stuff sells throughout the whole entire week, but of course reset day is really the best day to do this. But you're going to want to hop on a character that actually has access to these quests. If you don't, I highly recommend joining my Discord and simply asking in chat. Myself or somebody else can help you out. But let's say you do, you'll just want to go over to the weekly quest, talk to the Niffin, and he'll tell you exactly what the weekly quests are. Just for example, right now we have the Tailoring quest, which is the Vibrant Bolts, and then we also have the Engineering quest, which are the Fisher Friends. So boom, now you need to go and craft bolts and Fisher Friends, just start making some easy gold. This is my enchanter, so I could show you exactly what these Fisher Friends are. They are this item right here. Like I said, they're insanely easy to craft. The recipe difficulty, if you want to craft max quality, is 80, so very, very simple to do, and it's also ridiculously cheap to craft. Right now, it's about 42 gold to craft, and currently on my server, sadly, it's very, very low, but even selling at 200, I'm easily making 150 gold profit, and remember, people need 2 of these, so every single person completing that weekly quest is going to buy 2, 150 times 2, that's 300 gold profit in my inventory. But like I said, this is very, very cheap. As you'll see, the market value on my server is actually 500 gold, and closer to reset day, it was truly 500 gold. It's just crashed over the week. It is Sunday, so that's pretty expected, but also this is a server-specific item, so your server can be insanely different. And if you want to see some examples, keep in mind it's very early in the morning. I'm recording this right when I wake up, so we could check our overnight sales. And as you can see, I sold about 9 Fisher Friends, at least out of the first 100 males, overnight, by basically just posting before I went to sleep, and then they sold overnight. Like I said, they're pretty cheap on my server, but crafting cost is about 40-ish gold, so that's about 240 gold in my pocket for every single one, and it's just very, very easy to do. But don't take my word for it. Like I said, this is pretty cheap. This is probably a bad example. I'll have some screenshots of people discussing this exact item this week, and plenty of people were selling them for like 700 gold a piece, and they likely have the same, 40-ish gold crafting cost. So this is just a great market to get into. Additionally, like I said, the other item this week is Tailoring, and as you can see, I sold some bolts right here. So that's a quick, 18,000 gold right there. Of course, that's not all profit, but these are overnight sales. So literally, I posted these before bed, woke up this morning, and they sold. So that's just a small glimpse of the things that I'm selling. Now, the last thing that I want to mention is that not all weeks are the same. For example, if you're like me and the Draconium Fisherfriends crashed a little bit on your server, of course, they're not as exciting as somebody's server who's selling them for like 1,000 gold, right? And let's say you either don't have tailoring or the bolts just haven't been performing as well as others, this can be a pretty mediocre week. I've still made plenty of gold, especially on reset day, but, it's kind of trickled out and it's really nothing spectacular. The good thing is that the rotation is going to change on reset day, and the items that I really want to highlight is the cooking stews, as well as blacksmithing shovels and Inscription Chilled Runes. That is a lot of information, but for example, just 2 weeks ago, it was cooking week, meaning I like to call that soup week. I've talked about this in a previous video, so this might sound pretty familiar. But going back to that cooking week, I spent about 2 hours selling on reset day, about an hour selling on Wednesday, and then kind of sporadically throughout the rest of the week. As you can see, most of my sales right here are 18 days away. That would be reset day. Then we have the day 17. Then we have 14 to 13. You know, I sold 15 one day, so most of my sales were within reset day and the day after, and only about 3 hours of selling, and I brought in 1.7 million gold. Of course, this is not all profit. Let's imagine I have about a 30% margin. That's about how it was when I was selling items for this price. And out of 1.7 million gold, that would be about 510,000 gold profit from about 3 hours of selling. And keep in mind, this is just the stew. So since it was also reset day, I was selling potions, I was selling other food items, etc. And that made a lot more gold in those 3 hours. So this was just profit coming from the stew. So there are a lot of items that perform way better than others. So the cooking is something that really stands out. I really love the Chilled Runes. And the shovel/Fisherfriends are also good. They're not as profitable on most servers, but they're just so insanely easy to craft. But yeah guys, that's about it. To quickly recap, this process is pretty simple. All you want to do is on reset day, find out which 2 quests are live. You can either do that by checking the quest yourself, or asking in a Discord, or ask your friend. Then you're going to want to go and craft those items that you need for that quest and sell it on the auction house. Keep in mind, quality does matter, so always double check. Like I said, I'll have that list in the description down below. Save it somewhere, I highly recommend. To those who are a little bit skeptical about this, you know, you don't have to take my word from it. I highly recommend joining the Discord, asking some people in there, and I swear you'll get some responses about how good these barter brick quests are. So if you're skeptical, I highly recommend just trying it for a week or so. Keep in mind, not all items are the same, but one of these weeks are going to do great for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you've made it this far, why not subscribe, and have a good day.